So my name is Cynthia, and I'm Lennox's mom. First seizure, well, we thought we were going to be celebrating a nice happy day. It was on July the 3rd, and it was actually our wedding anniversary. And he fell down in the hallway, and Papa found him and brought him to the room. And I was coming out of the bathroom checking him, and he just wasn't really responding, and so we just thought he fell down and hit his head. And by the time the paramedics came and everything, he was already kind of talking and everything. Went to the hospital, and he was fine there at the hospital, and then at the hospital maybe 2 hours after, he kind of had this little dazed look on him again, and so from there we did more testing after that, the neurologist, and had the EEG done, and medication on board and that kind of stuff. For one, that I've been blessed because everything kind of fell into place with the doctors, with meeting Brad, with getting all his tests done. It's been very seamless for the most part, just this community with the timing of everything. Coming to these conventions, we get so much support and information, and he's a trooper. I mean, he's been through heck and back, and he's a trooper. He doesn't stop, he doesn't give up, so neither do we. So we've just kind of been on medications, and we've done a couple of EEGs, probably about 3 EEGs. We've done a couple of MRIs just to kind of look at the whole picture. We're on 2 medications right now, and we're kind of weaning him off of one. So we're a little anxious about that, just to see if we're going to see any regression or any relapses in seizures, since we are tapering one off. So we're a little anxious right now. we're kind of starting that process. I think just the support, and then just learning about new therapies. Like we were talking to someone today about like the VNS and that being an option. Just all the different other types besides just medications, as far as like surgeries, VNS, the CBDs, just all the different options there are that we didn't really consider before. But at least now we're aware of them, and so as we go through the process and things change with him, and we're constantly looking for things, if we notice anything different about him, increased eye blinking or neurologically things that are a little off or something, we're always in the back of our minds trying to keep everything in mind so that we can look into different things if we need them.
Hi, I'm Alex, and I'm Lennox's dad. I'm an industrial designer. Mostly consumer electronics. I tend to try to make things look better, whether that would be improving the aesthetics, the usability, making them more cost effective, or just better for manufacturing. Just going through the experience of having Lennox do the EEG of 48-hour testing, and just seeing the process of what these kids and patients go through, and looking at just how the process of how it's done, I felt that I think it's a better way of doing that, from a usability, from a consumer's perspective. I think there's a better way of going about that, not necessarily of how placing the sensors, but the wrap itself. After just a few minutes, at least with Lennox, he starts sweating, and within an hour, he starts to scratch, he starts itching, and you can see his skin breaking out into rashes. So you can imagine after 24 hours, 48 hours, or whatnot, it's not a pleasant experience for at least for Lennox, but I imagine it for a lot of these kids or patients that are going through the testing. It could be pretty tough for them. So improving, I think, the wrap, I think it would benefit, from having to go through that experience. I thought there was a need for a better way. So I bought a sewing machine, I bought some fabric, and with the advice of Brad, and him giving me feedback, on, on some of the methods of why they wrap the head a certain way, and keeping that in mind, I just started prototyping, and the first prototypes were quite crude. I don't sew, so you can just imagine. And after like 5, 10 versions, I got it to the point where I could at least show it to Brad. From that point, I found a prototyper that's been helping me since improve upon what the initial idea was. And just a few days ago, I tested it on Lennox. So I got it to the point where it was the right size, and I failed miserably. And the two things I set out to do, which was improve the comfort and the whole itching, especially around here. The fabric I chose was not the right fabric, and he let me know. So I had to go back to square one, but I found the right fabric now, I think, and made some changes. And it's just continuing to work through the prototypes. So
Awesome.
I think I'm getting closer.
What do you wish for both your kids?
Just to live a full, productive, and happy life. And for Lennox, to someday, be seizure-free.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.